Our customer, a global leader across the hospitality industry, they've had a robust technology organization for as long as they've been around. I think true transformation, basing everything around thinking through the lens of the customer was the client's overall goal. So being able to operate where they aren't assuming what the customer wants, but actually using customer data in order to truly understand, get a full 360 view of who their customer is, and then being able to deliver a personalized experience to each customer was the overall end goal. That begins with reframing and challenging current beliefs across the organization from the top down, but also from the bottom up, and then really asking the tough questions around each and every decision, making sure that they're questioning whether or not it is based on what the customer really wants and mirroring everything around that mission. One of the first main initiatives was kicking off an agile transformation effort throughout the organization. So realigning across both the business and technology units in order to think in more of a product-driven methodology, which led to a large increase in hiring across some legacy skill sets, as well as a lot of brand new skill sets that were somewhat foreign to the organization before. And that was a key area where IDR stepped in being able to really act as an advisor and being able to really gain an understanding of what their overall mission was, not just in a few months, but where they wanted to be in the future, and being able to help determine what key roles needed to exist within the organization. So the Agile transformation effort was definitely a key initiative, and IDR placed several folks, beginning with the initial consultants who actually helped to build out their Agile playbook in order to help roll out Agile across the entire organization. It started with defining what Agile even means. Before they kicked off this initiative, it depended on the group in terms of how they managed projects. One of the key placements we made early on was an individual who was tasked with meeting with the key business stakeholders to first get an understanding of how each team currently goes about managing projects. And then they coordinated closely with leadership across the organization to get all areas of the business aligned to actually define each step throughout the Agile process before rolling it out throughout the organization. So that was a key part in the success of the rollout of Agile, was ensuring that all the key leaders across all areas of the business were aligned and both committed to ensuring that they all have the same definition of each step throughout the process. Because after they rolled it out, they made the commitment that they would no longer take the easy route. And even though it would be painful in the moment, that they would commit to educating their teams on the importance and the why behind following basically a new set of standards, a new process. And really what that ensured is that the business was aligned with technology. So technology wouldn't just be delivering products that the business doesn't end up using. Because I think that's been a pain point across this client, was technology would deliver something under the assumption that it would solve some of the business's pain points, but without the key business stakeholders' input, the people who are going to be using those systems or applications day to day, without getting their input on the front end, oftentimes there's a disconnect and technology may deliver things that the business doesn't necessarily need. So getting that alignment, getting that buy-in on the front end was a key initiative in order to make sure that they're delivering products that the organization will truly use. Overall, we've been supporting this customer for several years, since 2015. And throughout their digital transformation effort, we placed over 477 consultants throughout the organization, throughout several core groups, throughout their software engineering organization, throughout their enterprise program management organization, folks who supported their Agile transformation efforts, their digital HR efforts, their data and engineering efforts, their enterprise technology groups, as well as their digital marketing and creative teams. And we place talent across all throughout the US, but the key focus areas from a geographic standpoint were out of their technology hubs, where IDR stood out just in supporting this customer throughout multiple years was we see ourselves as an extension of our customer. So we're very ingrained in not just finding a specific skill set, but being able to truly connect the skill set with the why. And that helps our recruiters to be able to articulate the positions correctly when they're talking to candidates on the very front end. It also allowed our teams to be able to speak transparently to the different hiring teams and to be able to let them know real time what challenges, even before searching for certain skill sets, we would be able to better advise our customer on what potential challenges they would see. And then we'd work together in advising, and collaborating together to come up with different solutions. That way we can make sure at the end of the day, we're finding the right talent who is going to stay long term. So several of these initiatives were multiple years. That takes a lot of collaboration from both sides in order to ensure we're placing the right people and retaining the right people who are going to add value long term. And several of those folks that we've placed throughout the years have continued on with the company as full-time employees and have grown into leadership roles across the company. So that says a lot about our partnership and our ability to identify long-term talent who are going to deliver long-term results. But yeah, I think just understanding the business our customers in was key in, just learning with them as we go and being able to collaborate and pivot and at the end of the day to deliver value.